Let's welcome Dave, the film junkie.
So getting you for copyright. Right now, just happening.
What it is I want to bring you in like we're in the WWE. You know, all of a sudden your music comes on, you're like, ah!
Yeah, we just got sniped off YouTube right now.
He's like, I just reported you for that. Sorry.
Bam. Well, what's happening, guys?
What's up? What's up?
What's up, man? So, okay, so we are going to talk about the Flash and Black Adam in just a minute, but before we get to that, though, I really wanted to get your opinion on the movie that we've all been waiting for. The movie that we took 4 years almost to get, which is Zack Snyder's Justice League. And so the question I had for you real quick was, what were your initial thoughts when you finally got the chance to see Zack Snyder's Justice League? Now, I know you've done videos before, but I just want to ask you right here on the show, what was your initial thoughts of the movie when you first saw it?
Yeah, it was all right. Yeah, it's like, I thought it could be better. I was like, God, really? That's what we waited for? Now, of course, I loved it. I mean, if you saw my first reaction, I mean, I got teared up. I mean, That guy, I even sent him a message. I'm like, you motherfucker. You made me cry like 5 or 6 times, which he smiled about. And I'm like, yeah, of course. But no, like my initial thoughts were, well, first off, how well it flowed, how epic it was, all the scenes, and I immediately just wanted to watch it again. That was like my first thought was like, I'm watching this again today because, I got the screener for that Saturday. I had nothing else to do. And I'm like, all right, let me take like a little break, get some dinner, and then I'm watching this shit again because it was just, it just went down so smooth and loved it.
It was really, really good. I mean, the first time I saw it was on the virtual premieres. I had to wait like 6 hours for that Microsoft to update their system, which was like, what is happening right now? What sucks that a lot of fans were giving up on it. They were just like, you know what? It's not going to happen tonight. I'm going to bed. And some people had to go to bed because they had to work in the morning, so they didn't really have much of a choice. I, fortunately, was on vacation, and I was staying at a hotel. And for some reason, every room has like a 47-inch LCD, right? So I was like, oh, whatever. Yeah, that'll work for now, whatever. For whatever reason, my room had a 65-inch Samsung LED TV. I don't know why.
Wow. It was written in the stars.
I know. I was like, wow, why is mine so much bigger? And anyway, but then I was able to hook up everything to the TV, and I was able to watch it. And it was the second time I watched it was even better because the first time I think I was so in shock over what I was seeing. And I literally, there was so many scenes where I was like, oh my God. Mm-hmm. Just that opening scene alone, when you see Batman and you see Wonder Woman in the same scene where Superman dies and you see Doomsday, just to see them again in live action, that blew me away. And I was like, a couple minutes in the movie, I was like, oh my God, there they are. Like that's Batfleck. He's right there. Like that's Batman. There he is. There was the real Batman. It was just so mesmerizing just to see them together again.
Yeah, and usually that's the way it is too when it comes to watching something the second time, because you already know, like, okay, now I know what to expect, and then you just kind of just enjoy. I don't know. There's something about that second view, and it's always better with every movie. And even with this one, it was like, all right, I already know what to expect. I mean, obviously there was a lot that we already expected because we just, we knew a lot about this movie, but at the same time, just to see how it all played out. And then the second time you watch it, I mean, it's just such an easy watch.
It is. Yeah. And for a 4-hour movie, it feels like nothing. It just goes really right by. Yeah. And Mike G wanted me to tell you, tell Davey I said hi.
What's up, Mike?
What's up, Mike G? Buddy? And guys, a big shout out as well to the patrons of Nicotina Show, which are as follows right here, which is Everfett in many ways. ACS Universe, who's here right now. Hey, Mike G, Mel Siggy, Gavin Cooley, Gillis 15, Kinky Sphincter, DC Talk with Extended, Durwell McMillan, and that one Carlos. And if you want to become a member of the Nicotina Show, or I should say a patron of Nicotina Show, the link is in the description down below. But where the hell did it go? There it is. But so going back to
ACS, you got to pay to be here. Is that what's going on here? He's charging you to.
We're all members. I'm also a patron of his show as well. So it goes both ways.
Yeah.
It cancels each other out.
Cancels each other out.
Yeah.
The money just moves in a circle.
Yeah.
But damn it, Dave.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, so seeing them on the screen together, I think was it was pretty mesmerizing, and it was pretty incredible just to see it all happen at once. And we've been waiting so long for this. I mean, the only thing that we would ever get to see is BVS, or if you can bear it, the other movie that was out there, which was it was so far. It's horrible. And what's interesting is that just recently I watched. I was watching Zack Snyder's Justice League, and after the Atlantean scene where Steppenwolf captures the mother box, I decided for some odd unknown reason, I said, you know what? I said, let me go check on. Let me. So I went on YouTube.
That's against the law, man.
It is. It was heresy.
And once you've seen Zack Snyder's Justice League, you're not allowed to watch the other one.
I know. So
call the FBI.
So I went on YouTube and I found the Atlantean, scene that I was telling you about from Justice League.
Why did you say that name?
And it was. I mean, watching the two one after another, I was like, wow, they completely butchered this scene. I mean, they eliminated so many parts of that scene to the point where it was almost unrecognizable. I was like, wow, this is like.
Yeah. Well, I know when we did our live watch, I mean, that was a struggle. Hated
it was a struggle.
It was such a struggle, but it was fun ripping into it with all the guys and pretty much getting shit faced because we're it's like, take a drink because of that, take a drink because of that. But yeah, I mean, I mean, there's no reason to even really acknowledge. I know people are going to compare it, and I've seen that, which is it's kind of cool. You have to do that. You have to do that comparison.
Yeah.
Like, somebody actually did a side-by-side comparison of the Wonder Woman scene, and it was funny because they would have to freeze the Justice version because it was like, okay, you have to freeze right here because there's so much more that was cut out. Yeah, and then it would link back up, and then you could see which ones they reshot and everything, and it's just, what's going on, guys?
We got Ill Life in here as well. What's going on, Ill? Ed N. They just pass the same dollar back and forth. That's what we do. We just keep stuffing it down our bras. Like, there we go. Your turn now. Don't be cheap, people. Don't be cheap. Okay, so yeah, it was interesting to see the two because I don't know why I haven't watched that movie for a while. Surprisingly, and I was just like, you know what? Let me just see how bad it really was. Just that one scene, I was like, wow, that's enough for me to see that. I don't ever want to watch the movie ever again. Yeah. In fact, I think like most of us, that movie doesn't really exist.
Not anymore.
It's just like
that one doesn't exist, man.
Yeah. But the problem is that one to us does not exist. But to Warner Brothers, apparently, it fully exists, and it's like they've gone on record to say that it's canon. I mean, I don't understand what they're thinking with this.
Well, especially after this weekend, especially after seeing all the hype and, I mean, even though we don't have the numbers yet, which is a little odd, it is kind of funny that they're still considering that Frankenstein's monster of a movie. Yeah. They're still considering that canon. And it's just, I mean, even though there's similar story beats, there was no dark side. There was no what Flash did with his powers. I mean, my God, what they did to my boy, man. I mean, to have him like push the little truck and with the Russian family, and that's what he contributed. That's what he contributed. That was
an act of heroism.
Yeah, that was his act of heroism when he actually literally saved the fucking world.
Yes,
he saved the world.
Existence.
Yes, and it was a beautiful scene.
Yeah.
Oh, it was a fabulous scene. I mean, it just, and I don't know. I don't think that was a part of any of the additional photography. I think that he had already shot that scene. I'm not sure. The scene where Flash is using the Speed Force to go back in time.
No, that was a principal photography. Okay. The only thing that Ezra did was the nightmare.
Yeah, the nightmare scene where he's
the nightmare scene, and because you could tell too that I think what they actually did. I mean, he probably just got in front of a green screen with like his face, and then I think honestly, I think they CGI'd his face onto somebody else's body. It was probably very easy to do because he's completely covered. Only the mask was up. I think they kind of just placed his face right on there, and that's how quick it was.
That's all you see is the mask go up, and
he's just like, yo,
he kind of reacts, and he crouches down, and then it goes down, and he doesn't say anything. So I think it was just something really quick that they got. They just needed some reaction, and that's it.
Well, and I think it's funny how there was somebody out there that sent you that tweeted out an image of Gal, and how they use the same image of her in a different scene.
Oh yeah, that was.
And I loved your response. You were like, well, all I can say is that they're doing the VFX team is doing a great job. I mean,
exactly.
it's not like he had time to go back and shoot and do
we
reshoots.
have to remember that he had pickups and reshoots scheduled. Like you do, that's always going to be the case. He never got those, so they weren't going to use any footage. We heard Zack
definitively
that said he would not use a single frame from anything that was reshot, or he'd burn the fucking movie, like in the peak, you blow it up.
You blow it up. Blow it up.
Yeah. So he didn't have, they didn't have time to do it. That's why, when it came to the Cavill stuff too, they repurposed for that. And it was, but it worked out fine because it was quick. And, the VFX artist did a really good job. I didn't notice it until this guy pointed it out. And it was, and he said that was his only criticism. I'm like, really?
that was your criticism? That?
Yeah. Like that fucking, but everything else was, but that really, just because, it was a weird little thing to point out. I couldn't believe it. Yeah, some people, I tell you.
But there's so many scenes that you see in this movie, and when you think back to how it played out in the theatrical cut, it's like night and day.
Yeah.
The scene, the battle at Themyscira is completely different. The battle in Atlantis, the terrorist attack that Wonder Woman, takes those guys down, totally different. And people would say, oh, well, he got 4 hours. So, yeah, of course, his film's going to be a little better. No, but it was more the context that the scenes were in. I mean, it spelled out a longer story. It spelled out a better story. And the characters were more fleshed out as well.
Yeah. And a lot of the scenes, too, are just like the music, Junkie XL's music. That adds to it. The color palette adds to it. I mean, it's just somebody, I think it was Krypton Cage, who actually took the Heroes trailer and compared it to actual footage from the Zack Snyder Justice League side by side, and it's just the color palette is so goddamn ugly. I mean, it's like everything is so it looks like it's overly saturated. Everybody has like a pinkish hue to their.
Yes. Well, and what's even worse too is that when I was watching that scene in Atlantis, they tried to brighten everything up.
Yeah,
and it made the special effects look even worse.
I know,
because it was shot, it was done in a darker color tone, and they brightened everything up. It's like they just went to the screen and said, "Hey, just raise the contrast." Yeah. There we go, we got it. And it just looks all blotchy and weird, and I don't know what they were thinking. Yeah, Jose, I agree, man. I think it's a masterpiece. I think it's such a good movie. Now, are there flaws in the movie? I think there's some here and there, but in no way do they even. It's like they're so far and few between that they don't even matter, because there's just so much good in this movie. What's up, Jesse Allen? And it just, I mean, honestly, for us, like, we could literally go on for hours talking about this movie. It was that good. And to hear that you actually got teared up in that movie, I mean, that says something right there. I mean, we were so excited for this film to finally come out and to see it. I mean, Ray Fisher just blew it out of the water. He did an incredible job in that movie.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Fire.
The scene that still gets me, that makes me think, like, how could they remove this scene? I mean, I understand now, because they had fucked the story up so bad that they didn't have a choice. I guess. I don't know. I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. But
don't.
Yeah, exactly. Don't. But the scene where Silas, spoiler alert, guys, spoiler alert. We are going to talk about this movie. You haven't seen this movie yet, then
I think everybody's seen it.
Yeah, you've already seen it, but yeah, spoilers just in case you guys are wondering. Okay, so and moved on to our favorite scene in the movie. One of my favorite scenes of this whole movie, and there's so many of them, but one of them was the scene where Silas uses the laser and essentially ends up killing himself to mark the mother box. And that whole scene, the way it played out, I kept thinking, like, how could you have cut this out? Like, the way that Steppenwolf was coming through to get to him, it looked like the fucking Tyrannosaurus Rex from Jurassic Park was coming. You know what I mean? He was like, Aah! He's just like, okay, well, I can go out there and get an axe to my head, or I can stay in here and hope for the best. Like, whatever, I'm gonna stay in here, But Ray Fisher's performance in that scene, that's what really got me right there. That was a tough one.
Yeah. Same with like when they're in the car with his mom and he's starting to like well up. I was like, oh
Yeah.
shit,
Yeah,
Ray, you're hitting
it was
me,
so good.
punching my heart in the balls, man.
Like the moment, the moment he said, when the Flash was, when Barry said, are you okay? And he was like, I couldn't save him. That one, that's where it got me. I was like, oh damn, but that's how good it was, and I just it blows me away. Dave, what was your favorite scene of this movie? I know there's probably a lot of them, but what's the one scene that stands out the most?
Well, I think just the back and forth between Joker and Batman was just, I mean, just being a Batman fan, that was just, I would have to say that probably was. And, but of course, I mean, also when Flash saved the day, when he's like about to just leap forward, and when the unity happens and the world ends and he does that. I mean, it's hard because I'm also a big Flash fan too, but I think it's just, I don't know. There's just something, the subtleness of the dialogue and between, Leto's Joker and Batfleck. It's, I mean, everything that they mentioned, how they mentioned Harley Quinn, they mentioned Robin in that whole thing. And then of course we get the F-bomb, which was awesome. I knew it. I was like, when we heard that there was going to be an F-bomb, I went, it's got to be towards Joker. There's no way.
Yeah, it has to be.
That was my thought too.
Yeah,
that was my thought. Yeah, that'd be Batman telling me fucking kill him. So,
and the way he said it too was perfect. He's like, and what did he say? And
she said, she was like,
she told me when I killed you,
and then believe me, I'm going to fucking kill you.
Yeah, believe me, I'm going to fucking kill you. I was like, yes, badass, And but I think it's funny how people will take that scene and go, oh look, he's making Batman say the F word. It's kind of like, no, but it's in context though. I mean, look at all he's been through. I mean, they're living in a fucking nightmare. It's not like they're just hanging out by the pool and he said it like, whoa, chill out. No, I mean, they're living in a nightmare world where everyone's dead. Yeah. And so here's my question that I wanted to ask you, Dave. Where do you think they're going? Because he says, I think Joe Manganiello says, where are we holding up? He goes, a place he'll never expect or he'll never think of. But I don't know where they were going though.
I mean, I'm guessing, I don't know if it's a place that, what does he say again? A place that he would not know or not expect?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, something. I think he says it's a place that they'd never expect. That he'd never expect.
Never expect. Yeah, I didn't think about that.
Probably his place, I guess. I mean, I'm sure they wouldn't expect him to be at.
Yeah, true.
Maybe the first place they check. We'll go check the Batcave.
Yeah, no. I'm talking about if they're referring to Superman, right? When they said a place he'd never expect, maybe it's Superman's place.
Yeah, maybe it's Lois. Yeah, him and Lois's apartment or something.
I know, right?
It's
still standing, the building. It's in mint condition. Yeah. But I mean, the nightmare scene. It was so powerful, and it was just there was so many layers going on there. But I think I know, in my opinion, at least, to me, the biggest jaw dropping scene where I literally, I was like. And my father-in-law was watching it with me. He fell asleep, and it woke him up. He was like, "What's happening?" I was like, "No, don't worry about it." I mean, at this point, it was getting late in the night, so he was getting tired.
Yeah.
But it was a scene where it showed. And guys, just so Katsuka can't give me any more shit in the chat, I'm gonna put this up real quick. Where'd it go? There we go. Okay, spoilers, you guys. Spoiler. Okay, is a scene where Batman is holding a practically incinerated Lois Lane.
Oh, you mean Superman? Yeah,
Superman. I'm sorry. I did that last time too. I said Batman. Yeah, when Superman's holding Lois Lane. That was the one scene where I was like, because it was like he went there. Like Zack went there. He was like, dude, I'm putting that scene in there.
I said out loud too. I'm like, oh my god, he fucking did it. And then my next thought, I'm not going to hear the end of this from Garza. Shit.
You know what? That is true though. He was saying for a while, he's like, I think he put that scene in there.
Yeah,
and I remember thinking, I was like, I don't know how he's gonna fit that in there. It won't make any sense.
I was like, there's no way. I mean, they didn't reshoot anything with Cavill or Adams, but they were crafty with it. They used purpose footage from Man of Steel, and Amy Adams did need to be there. It just needed to show like,
they're like, can we borrow the dress you wore?
Yeah,
we're gonna burn it.
Dude, I mean, I thought like there would be like maybe a vision of something, but man, literally just holding the body right
still
there.
Smoking too.
Yeah, dark side.
Still smoking, smoldering, and and his hand comes on his shoulder. It was just like, oh my god,
Fucking eyes were on fire, dude.
That was probably the most shocking thing.
Yeah,
when it came to.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Well, and what I found interesting too was that just recently Leslie Jones did a whole bunch of tweets where she watched the movie, and yeah, and on Monday we showed a bunch of those. I even got taken down for YouTube because of one of them because it was too long. So, but
you gotta be careful with that.
Yeah, I know, right? But what I thought was funny was that when she got to the nightmare scene, and when and I love this line too, when Joker was talking about Lois, saying, "Oh, how she suffered." I love how even she was like, "Oh, he's talking about Lois. That was Lois Lane. That's what that was. He was holding." You know what I mean? I was like, "Yes, she made the connection." Yes.
Yeah.
Because these days it seems like everyone just wants the movies like spelled out for them. You know, and I love how even she was able to pick up on that. And then my wife were watching and she was like, "Oh, so that was Lois Lane he was holding." I was like, "Yeah." She was like, "Yeah, that's what I figured anyway."
Did she say it just like that?
Yeah, she's very calm about it.
Oh, okay.
I'm the opposite. I'm like, "Oh my god!" But Vic's vision of the future literally made my jaw drop. Yeah, no, it was. And then to see a dead Kilowog just laying there with like his stomach blown open, I was like, "Damn!"
I didn't see it the first 3 times. I was too busy looking at Superman and the ripped Joker card. I totally fucking missed that. I was, oh wow. It's right there. Yeah, I know.
He's huge too. Like,
I was not even looking for it. I was kept on looking forward for some reason. Didn't think about pausing. Duh. Yeah. Do that here. Hello. You're at home. Jeez.
I was watching on my computer. I had my laptop hooked up to my TV with HDMI, and sometimes it was hard just to like, okay, should I get up and pause this now? Like, no, just forget it. I'll just watch it through. Because at the hotel I was like sitting away from it. They had a couch and everything. It was great.
Right. What sucked was because I got the screener on that Saturday. What sucked is I had to pause it. I think I paused it at the 49-minute mark and record that fan premiere thing because it was pre-recorded when you saw that on Thursday or Wednesday.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we had to stop and do that for 2 hours. So literally, I'm just standing here.
Oh my god!
I'm like, she just went down and she's looking at the ruins. She's down there, and I'm like, oh, come on, let's go. It was like
during your first viewing.
Yes, my first viewing.
Oh my god!
Yeah, it sucked because I get the message that it's going to be between 11 and like 1 o'clock, sometime between there, and then I'm getting the screener at 10. I'm like, I can't just have the screener and not put it on.
Yeah, just waiting.
It's just going to be calling out to me. So as soon as I got it, I fired it up. But I had to pause it for almost 2 hours just to.
I mean, did you get a notice like on your phone or something saying, "Hey, it's time to do the"?
Yeah, they like messaged me. It's it was from the Zack Snyder's Justice League main Twitter account was messaging. Yeah, and I'm like, damn it. Yeah.
This was Dave right here. As soon as he got that message.
No.
Pretty much. That's pretty much what it was. Like,
damn it. And then you're staring at it the whole time. You're like,
"Hey, it was on pause. It was on Diana's place, like for most of the time until it just like clicked out of it for a bit." And then I was just like, it was funny too because when we got started, they were kind of all talking to us and stuff, and they were like, "Has anybody seen it?" And I went, "I'm looking at it right now." Right there, like the 49-minute mark. Damn it!
And then the screen goes like a screensaver. You're like, "No, I can't see it now. Damn it! Come on, we got to finish this up."
Pretty much, man. It was kind of brutal, but
you were the first one out. You're like, "Okay, guys, thanks a lot. I gotta go."
Like, what?
Oh shit!
Thankfully, man, I was like, "Yeah, get me out of this. Why did I agree to this?"
It says now you saw 5 seconds into the future. He's not with somebody else. So yeah, I mean that's and looking back at the whole movie, I mean, I don't know if I can put one scene down and say that's my favorite scene, but one scene that I love a lot is when the Flash saves Iris West.
Yeah,
the score in that scene is just it's so incredible. It's just so strong.
Is that Song to the Siren? Was that playing?
Yeah, that's how.
Okay.
What's up, Matt? Anthony, what about you? What was your favorite scene?
It's hard.
Yeah,
I've answered this question several. I mean, it's hard, but like the scene where they're discussing resurrecting Superman, and then the theme comes on, and then Cyborg throws the hologram up. That shit almost done. Like tears in the eyes, legit. And I was just like, yo, because the first time when Diana talks to the little girl and she's like, "You okay, princess?" And that little back and forth goes. That was the first time, and I said it out loud. I said, "Damn it, Zack, is this how you're gonna do me?" Like, and then for the rest of the movie, there was just moments like that. But The hologram, Superman hologram, that sits pretty tight with me. That's
that was pretty big. And what's funny was that when I was watching it the second time, and that was the first time my wife had seen it, when we got to that scene where where she does a gauntlet and the terrorist is blown up, and you see the hat, floating in the air.
Yeah.
That's when my wife, I was like, all this you're seeing right now after she did this was cut. She was, what? That doesn't make any sense. And then when we got to the scene where she's like, when she talks to the little girl, she was like, so you're saying all this was cut out? I was like, yeah.
Yep.
She's like, why would you cut that out? Like,
it just went like they even reshot. Like when she responds, she goes, "I'm a believer," and then all right, cool.
Like they rewrote that, and they were like, got it, done. Let's go.
Well, I mean, what? I mean, what? It went from believe it to I'm a believer. Like, okay,
yeah,
cool.
And then she booshes and doesn't kill anybody.
Yeah,
that's it. Doesn't kill anybody. You're just like, oh, I just assumed that he must have got knocked out. Like, oh, really? She blew out the whole wall.
I didn't know she can dial it down and shit. I don't think she can. It's like there's one level to that, and it's
seriously. I know it's gonna say, "Hey, we're okay. I just blew out the side of the building, but everything's good."
The cops have, they have helmets on. They're fine. They're fine. No, it played out so much better, and I loved how they showed Wonder Woman, who Diana is, she inspires.
Both. She can do both.
And she inspires, courage and greatness out of anybody. And instead of showing that scene, they instead had to talk about it in theatrical cut. Like, oh yeah, you look for the best out of everybody. It's kind of like, well, we already saw that, but you didn't show it, so now you got to talk about it. It doesn't make any sense.
Real quick, Nightmare sequel. Who did Terrio write that, or is that?
I think what happened was Zack wrote it and ran it by Terrio.
Okay,
that happened. Like he wrote the scene out, and because he's always been thinking about it, and then he kind of just was like, because him and Terrio were talking back and forth, all this stuff. I think he just kind of ran it by him. Maybe Terrio said, "Well, do it like this instead." I don't know, but I know that he was in contact with Terrio.
Because I know you just mentioned it, him and the Joker's dialogue, but I just got reminded the reach around line. Yo, that's so genius. And
my god, that was so good. Yeah, was it really?
Oh, that's right. He did. Yes, that's right. That's right.
Yeah. Snyder said that that the reach around was improv, and then Leto looked at him and said, "That's not going to make the movie, huh?" And Zack said, "You want to bet?"
What about?
I loved it. So,
I loved it. It was right on cue. You know what I mean? It's like, who's gonna give you a reach around? It's just like, oh, he's still making a crude joke. You know what I mean?
He said, "Contraire, my little fish stick." That was so fucking smart. I was like, dude, that's there you go. Yeah, that sequence is brilliant.
It's brilliant. And I've heard that in the Justice Gray version that the We Live in a Society line is supposed to be in that movie.
Yeah, it makes you wonder if there's anything else he's going to sneak in too, because I think it's going to be the case, and I don't know this because I was told or anything, but I just know that remember when the Hallelujah trailer came back and it was in black and white. He added little tidbits here and there. Yeah. So, and I think he might just be like, hey, let's squeeze in a couple other things. Don't quote me, but I just have a feeling that he might squeeze in some things that we didn't see.
Well, do you think that if he does that, do you think that they would re-release the color version with those scenes?
Nah, probably not. Because it would just make it would make the Justice's Gray version like a little extra special,
It would, yeah. He called him Harris Melly old flounder.
Yeah.
But okay, so there's another character that I wanted to kind of bring up was Amber Heard.
Mm-hmm.
I actually thought, in terms of big surprises, out of a character, I actually thought she did really good, and I liked her accent in the Atlantean scenes, and of course, obviously in the Nightmare sequence. But I liked her portrayal of the character, and I liked her role in this movie compared to what we got in the theatrical cut. So to me, that was a big surprise. Obviously, the biggest surprise for me was Ray Fisher's performance. I knew it was going to be good, but I had no idea it was going to be that good. Yeah. It was off the charts.
Yeah, Warner Brothers, come on. When are you going to announce that he's back in the Flash movie? Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
If they were smart, because everybody's praising the shit out of them, and Warner Brothers is looking like idiots.
But why though? Why are they doing this for?
I don't know, man. I think I really don't know. They've always had like they didn't want to even release the damn movie. It was HBO Max and AT&T that ended up going, hey, we got something here. This will work obviously on the streaming platform, and they're right. But it's just I mean, just to have like that article come out the Monday of. I mean, that was so planned.
It was so planned.
Yeah.
It's really sad the way that whole thing played out, and it was so unnecessary at that. It didn't solve anything. It didn't accomplish anything. All it did was accomplish at like pissing off a lot of fans.
Yeah.
Exactly. Which I don't know. Why do you piss off your fans? If you're making a product for your customer base, for your consumers, we are the fans, and then you want to go and piss them off. Like I don't get that.
It's very odd. It almost seems like they don't even want HBO Max to be a success either. Because
it's almost like they want it to go away.
Yeah, I don't even understand it. It doesn't make sense, and the fact that I don't think they thought it was going to be this much of a hit, to be honest. And and now that it is, now it's like, hey, what are you guys going to do now? I mean, come on. She keeps talking about, and Sarnoff keeps on talking about multiverse, different kind of things, and not everybody's going to like that. Yeah, okay, so everybody is really liking this thing. This is like your biggest product right now. This is your hottest thing, and you're just going to put the kibosh on it. You got this whole other Suicide Squad movie that has more Joker, which a lot of people were raving about Jared Leto's Joker. Now they're like loving it. You're just going to pass up on that too. It's just
everything.
Yeah.
Now,
Anne.
So we were talking about what is this? Where we go? Jesse Allen says if Ann Sarnoff was a man, she'd be Dan Sarnoff.
Good one, Jesse.
Oh man, Jesse, I don't know what I would do without you, man.